Before y'all get into this, let me be clear. There are a few cuts in here because stuff kept happening. So first the candle fell over. Then after that, my water spilled. Like last night, my lemonade spilled. Okay. Then after that, I had to use the restroom. And then after that, my phone died. And then this computer almost died. And I realized I didn't have a charger. So just, there's nothing that isn't chaotic with me. So I just wanted to let y'all know. Love ya. What's up, y'all? And welcome to the first real episode of the Diary Page Chattelin'. I'm really excited about this. Before we get into this, subscribe and follow my Instagram or else. Wishing everybody a very happy full moon. The full moon is in Virgo. Shout out to the mutable placements, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sag. This is supposed to be affecting them heavily. My rising is in Gemini, so I'm a part of it, but I didn't feel anything this new moon. No, not new moon, full moon. I didn't feel anything this full moon. I was asleep all day. I went to the gym this morning, got home, slept. That's it. And then I ate like 3 or 4 hours ago. So that was it for me. There are some people I know who cannot go to sleep on full moons or new moons. I once knew this guy who was a Pisces who was a night owl on new moons and full moons. Like I went to sleep at 9:30, but he would have been up till like 1 that morning. I can't do that. My body works really well with the moon, womanly stuff, sleep cycles and whatnot. It works so well. So shout out to the mutable placements. Might be a little difficult, but we're gonna get through it. Big shout out to the fixed signs, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius, because Saturn is leaving for us. It was like a 3-year thing. And 2020 was a rough year for me. Actually, 2022 up until like late 2022. So like that year was a little bit difficult emotionally too. So basically 2020 till 2022. Pretty difficult for me, but I felt a lift today, March 7th. So I'm really excited about that. The sky is looking great. Everything is about learning and growing and expanding. And I think that's what the moon and everything is trying to teach us. The full moon album for tonight is Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Every full moon, every new moon, every really anything, even when I just feel like it, I'll like shuffle on Apple Music and see what song I get. And like if there's a message, I got Lauryn Hill. And then the second time I shuffled, I got J. Cole. So I revisited the Lauryn Hill album, listened to it in full. I was like, this is beautiful. So shout out to Lauryn Hill for the full moon album for me. But speaking of Lauryn Hill, and this is really what today's topic is about. I've been really obsessed with listening to songs and breaking down or trying to figure out who these songs were written about. And everybody knows I'm a big fan of Alicia Keys. But I think the one thing Alicia Keys lacks, just a little bit, just a little, I'm so sorry, Alicia. The one thing Alicia Keys lacks is me actually knowing who she's talking about. Like now, I guess it's Swizz, but even then, like some of the songs on her albums, I'm like, this could not be about your husband. This couldn't be. This had to be just something you felt, right? That's the one thing she lacks. And Beyonce doesn't lack that. I always know she's talking about Jay-Z. Even from Dangerously in Love, I knew she was talking about Jay-Z. So since Alicia doesn't provide that for me, I have to look elsewhere for it, right? So when I'm looking at the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, sometimes I can never really tell if she's talking about Wyclef or that Marley. I don't know which Marley. I know it was a Marley. And I think that that's interesting because either way, whoever she's talking about really put her through a lot, right? And I think I saw something, a podcast the other day that was talking about if Mary J had never written My Life, a lot of women would never be here today. I think that's what sparked me trying to figure out who these R&B artists were talking about because we know Mary J went through with Casey. Beyonce and Jay-Z, that's been like the love of her life forever, right? We know Erica had Common, and we know she had Andre. I think that's it. I think that's it. But Alicia is different because her label told her when she first came out that she could not be public with her boyfriend at the time, Carrie Brothers, whom she had been with since she was like 14 years old, right? And you're thinking to yourself like, I would never let a label tell me who I could be with and who I couldn't. In retrospect, I don't think I would have let a record label tell me that I couldn't have a boyfriend and then I had to be single or look single, quote unquote. But looking back at Alicia's albums, it's like, what songs are personal to you and who are they about? It's weird how we know a lot about Lauren's love life. And we know a lot about Erica's, and we know a lot about Beyonce, but we don't know a lot about Alicia's. Even Jill, even Jill. And like I'm obsessed with women talking about their past relationships and what brought them to the creative space of making an album that's about heartbreak or finding love, right? With Summer Walker, it's a little bit different because we knew who Summer Walker was with because of social media. We knew it was London on the track, and we knew she was getting dogged out by London. We knew that. That's why I enjoy Summer Walker, because she took what we already knew and made a check off of it while being vulnerable. With men, it's like I truly believe a man will write a song about loving a woman and have never loved a woman ever. Donnell Jones is at fault for every relationship in America. Okay? I don't care what anybody said. Jodeci wrote songs like Stay, but I can assure you Devontae, Casey, Dalvin, and JoJo were not begging women to stay in their lives. They were just writing stuff. I feel like when it comes to male R&B, it's not as personal. Now, today, of course, I feel like today's R&B, these dudes are being for real. I don't really like Brent. I don't know. I don't really like him. I don't really like the toxic stuff. I don't really like the toxic stuff if it's like Janae or Summer and they're like getting over the toxic stuff. But I really don't want to listen to a dude that's like, if you aren't with me, then you don't need to be with anybody. Because what are you really talking about? Then just go be with her. It's really not that difficult. But if you think about it, men have been toxic in R&B. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it when people say stuff like, I miss the old R&B. Oh my God. It just seems like everybody was so in love back then, and just no. Where are y'all getting that from? If your parents aren't together, then you don't miss old love or old R&B. Stop saying that. I just wish men have been toxic from Jodeci to Brent Foosball. It's no different, right? Just like women have been heartbroken since Mary J to Summer Walker, right? The difference between female R&B and male R&B is that I feel like women are a little bit more personal with their music, right? Jodeci can talk about Stay, and Devontae can write Stay, but I like I said, I doubt they were actually begging a woman to stay in their life. Now, Freaking You, I believe word for word, verse for verse, that was real. But let's switch back to Donnell Jones and how I think he really, really, really is at fault for every breakup in America. When you love somebody, you just don't treat them bad. When you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad now that I want to leave. She's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? But I just need time to see where I want to be. Are you crazy? And in the music video, he begs for her again. He goes back to her. Donnell Jones, you are at fault for every divorce, breakup, anything that didn't work out in the United States of America. Why would you write a song like that? Right? Like I don't get it. And that it was real. That was about his baby mama. I think that was real. He talked about it on Unsung. I love Unsung. Yeah, I watch those all the time. That was real. Why would you write a song like that? First of all, if I was on the tail end of that song and I was the woman that he wanted to leave, I would be like, you released that? Do I get 50% of it? That's the one percentage of a male R&B song that I feel like is real and personal. Because it was directly connected to a relationship that he was in and that a woman that he continued to cheat on. Then you have, like, let's say, the Princes, where some of his songs were about maybe like Vanity, Apollonia, Sheila E, whatnot, right? But I felt like once we got into the 2000s and the late 2000s, music was just more about making hits and not about I'm writing this song because I got my heart broken. I love Alicia Keys, y'all. I really do. But once we get to like Girl on Fire, I'm not tuned in. I have to skip Girl on Fire. Like I like all of Alicia's albums. Girl on Fire is like below, but I think what my point is in this message or what I'm talking about or ranting about is that a song for me has to have a meaning. That's why in my mind, Beyonce's best album is B-Day because I feel like she was trying to make a point. All right, she went from adolescent crazy in love to grown woman B-Day. She named the album B-Day. Okay, this is why I enjoy Alicia Keys' second album because she went from adolescent Alicia Keys to grown woman Alicia, where she was going through real emotions. And this is the only problem with that album is that I feel like she's not talking about somebody directly because if you have a boyfriend, why are you talking about crushes? Infidelity? Is that what it is? Either way, I love that album. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is like a Bible. It's like it's a learning process. It's unlearning and learning at the same time, right? And then you have my male favorite albums who like the College Dropout, where he touches on politics and police, you know, that's not the album is about Kanye, but it's not really about Kanye. You get it? Like that album teaches me hustle and believing in yourself. Whereas Lauren has gone through the same exact thing that I've gone through. That's exactly what the miseducation shows me. But with male albums, there's not like a male album other than one that I can really connect to. I wish I could because I know women that can really find personal experiences through male R&B. And a lot of men find personal experiences through female singers. Like I think the amount of men that I know that love Mary J. Blige is crazy, right? Luther is the only R&B artist that has an album that's like that I can connect to. Luther's a writer though, also. So he was talking about somebody. When I talk about my connections to albums, people always are because I am dramatic. Okay. I don't know. Newsflash, I'm dramatic. Sometimes I will cry to songs that I have no emotional attachment to. I mean, the song, I can't even begin to understand how I could relate to the song. X Factor by Lauryn Hill, I cannot relate to that song. Only points, only like bits and pieces, you know? Like, hmm, not even really bits and pieces. I've never a man has never tried to hurt himself in front of me. It's just an emotional song. I'm just dramatic. Okay. I just can't help myself. One time I cried to You Don't Know My Name because I just love that song so much. I don't know why. Another ridiculous song that I've cried to. I'm trying to think of a ridiculous song that I've cried to. Oh, I've cried to Lots of Signs by Tenor Saw. That's a reggae song, but it's emotional, like a song about life. So I just think I'm dramatic. So I think I take music really seriously. I really do. I take it so seriously. I think I take everything seriously, but really with music, which is why which is why I don't really like the male R&B singers of today. I'm interested to see where Daniel Caesar goes because I did think his music was personal when I was listening to it. Brent, what is his last name for real? Because I always say foosball. I don't know. I don't like to call people by their first names if I don't know them. Brent, I don't like him. Givian, I don't like him. Who else? Bryson. I love Bryson. I forgot about wow, y'all. We gotta pause for a second because I just thought about Bryson Tiller. That was a personal album. Trap Soul. I knew that that was coming from here. Okay, they're not doing that anymore. They're just. I just feel like these artists are machines now, and that's why a lot of artists are choosing. Who said they were choosing themselves over music? I think it was Kendrick. Kendrick was like, I think that's who said that. It just seems like these R&B artists are not R&B artists anymore. It's not the same. Do I think you know how Drew Hill can come on the radio or Next or Jagged Edge can come on the radio and the song hit like it just came out? Do y'all think we're going to have those kind of artists in 20, 30 years? And the songs are going to be worth it? Cuz I've listened to the radio. I mean, I obviously, but it be songs that's just like I don't like none of this, which is why when I'm on the radio, I don't really play a lot of new music because I don't really like it. And if it's new music, quote unquote, for me, it's going to be music from almost 5 years ago. If it's new R&B, if it's not Summer Walker, I'm not a big fan of Ari Lennox. I've tried. I can't. Maybe I'm just summer obsessed because I've tried Jasmine Sullivan's most recent album. I can't do that one either. I like old Jasmine. Janae, I like Janae. I didn't really, I mean, I liked Chilombo, but not as much as I like Trip. Maybe I just have an obsession with 2000s R&B, like late R&B, and that's where I can find my personal connections with. But I do have a question. And this is going to be a topic that I go into not now, but later. Is there a lyric that perfectly describes a situation you've been in? I've been thinking about this for days. I don't know. Like I said, I've been thinking about the lyric for about a week or so, but we're gonna get there. I want to share some of my unpopular music opinions since I feel like I've already done that within, I don't know how long this has been recording, but I feel like I've already done that a little bit. So we're gonna share some. Number one, and this is a rap one, and I don't know if I have any like rap head like friends, like really rap head friends. Jay-Z is not top five rappers of all time. To me, he's not, well, let me not say he's not top 10. He's not top seven. Okay. And I feel like we just give that man too much credit. Name really, okay. I want to know for real. What are we giving Jay-Z credit for? Like, what is his greatest album? What is a project front to back that defines Jay-Z like a Nas or a Rakim? Because if we being real, if we talking about East Coast, it's Jadakiss over Jay Z. I just want to just put that out there. I'm not gonna go into detail. Jay Z is cool. I like fronting, and I just want to love you, and I like Hard Knock Life, and I like Watch the Throne, and I like 444, but top five, he's on your top five rappers list. Be for real. This one is gonna be an interesting one because I used to be a big fan of her. Maybe like if you knew me, 2017 to 2019. I don't think Aaliyah was that great of an artist. She wasn't a writer. She wasn't a producer. Her voice was very low. Okay. I really don't know what. I think she was a great style. Great style. Nice voice. Nice voice, not a powerful voice. Now, before somebody tells me, but you're a fan of Alicia Keys, I know. I have never claimed Alicia Keys is the greatest singer. I like Alicia Keys because she is a writer and a producer. Aaliyah is not a single one of those. And as I got into music, really, I started to appreciate when artists could write and produce their own songs. So without that man, that first one that recorded her first album, and Missy and Tim and Static, she just, I don't think that Aretha Franklin is the greatest singer of all time. I think it's Whitney Houston. I think it's Tina Marie. I think it's Etta James. And I think all three of them are above Aretha Franklin. I really hope somebody old that I know is not watching this. I know y'all love Aretha, but come on. Come on. Aretha could sing, but it got to the point where she was just loud. So, I mean, I think all of those three are going above her. And a lot of y'all don't listen to Tina Marie. So y'all just think, no, and it's not that y'all don't listen to Tina Marie, it's that y'all only know Fire and Desire. But if you went into like Robbery or It Must Be Magic, you would know. That voice is her and Whitney are on the same level. Last one. I don't think Beyonce ever wanted to be a pop star. Like if you listen to those first singles before Crazy in Love and Baby Boy and Naughty Girl, I don't think Beyonce had any plans on being a pop star and doing that I Am Sasha Fierce thing. I really don't think that was her plan at first. Because if you knew this, you would if you if you heard those singles, you would be like, no, this doesn't sound like nothing off of Crazy in Love, right? But then you realize a lot of labels didn't mess with Beyonce when she first came out. Nobody believed in her. They used to pronounce her name wrong. And I think that's because she had no plans of being a pop star. And that's why I think she goes to this dropping like a underground artist thing, like surprise dropping. I think she does that because she mimics underground independent artists because she never wanted to be a pop star. So those are my unpopular opinions, and I wanted to share those because those have been on my mind for quite some time, actually. But the next topic I have is a completely different topic. I got a text today that was like, I really love watching your podcast. And I have a podcast that's like listenable. Is that a word? Listenable on Spotify. And I told him to revisit it. I was like, you should revisit the old ones. And he was like, I love listening because I have ADHD too. I don't have ADHD. Well, I don't know. I don't like to self diagnose, but I do know how to switch topics really, really fast. The next and the last topic is about philanthropy because I've been doing a lot of research on it. And when I'm 30 and married, I'm probably going to look at this when I'm 30 and be like, you thought she's going to be married? Stupid. Okay. Anyways, when I'm 30 and I have kids or whatever, I want to have a nonprofit foundation. Maybe not even before then, anything can happen for children's reading and writing. Not that I think the schools aren't doing a great job of helping the kids learn how to read and write. But I've seen some kids who are too old to not know how to read and write well, right? So that's my biggest goal. I've been doing a lot of work on philanthropy, and it's either you have the money and you don't have to do the work, or you don't have the money so you do the work. So if you don't have the money, you go out and feed the homeless. But if you have the money, you provide the food for the homeless people, right? That's how it works. I want to start off with going to do the work, and I want to end off with having the money to provide for the work. I want to be like, I was going to say, I just want to be known to help everybody. And I know you cannot help everybody because I was having a conversation about that earlier, but you can try to help everybody, right? As much as I love music and as much as I love talking to a camera and being on the radio, I think my biggest goal in life is to just be known as somebody who loves everybody. I really do love everybody. And I love the toddlers and the little small children who don't know a lot yet, but they know everything because kids are so powerful. When I was younger, my parents spent a lot of time reading to me, and I think that's what the kids now lack. Like it's like cocoa melon, and that's it. Right? That's why I really do believe that's why a lot of children don't know how to read properly because the iPad is not going to teach you how to read. I knew how to read very early because my parents spoke to me like regular people. You know how they say don't talk to your babies like babies. I almost think that's true. I almost think that you probably shouldn't do that. Maybe after like a month or so, you start talking regular. But I want to work with kids I want to read to children. I want to help children learn how to write. I want to produce some writers in the future because I think that's lacking. Although I think children are doing phenomenal. I've seen a lot on the news about kids graduating early and young children having like the IQs of what is it, Einstein? I saw that the other day, and I think that that's brilliant. But I definitely think in my city, there's some work that needs to be done. So I just wanted to talk about that plan because I wanted to get that out there. I was going to talk about it on the radio Friday, and I still am because I want to have a nonprofit and I want to be a part of something really big. I think at this year in my life, I'm really focused on what I want to do with myself. There's people who always have it figured out. There's people who don't have it figured out at all. And then there's me. There's so many things I want to do. There's like writer, radio host, journalist, philanthropist. I want to do this, and that. I want to be a humanitarian. There's so many things. My parents always told me that I could do anything. And I remember this interview vividly where Kanye West says, I always thought I could do anything. And I think that that's me. I get down sometimes and that's only because I'm overwhelmed. I find myself getting really down when a lot of good things are happening to me. I always thought I could do anything because I was always told I could do everything, right? My parents and Kanye is exactly right. If you grow up in environments where you are not told you could do anything, you just won't do anything. You won't do anything. And that's also why I have a passion for the young children because over the past few years, I've watched people's dynamics with their parents, and I realized how not only how blessed I am, but how a lot of children, their personality, their traits, the way they think of themselves is a representation of how they were treated by their parents. So I really want to be a force in my late 20s now to push children towards believing in themselves all the time. Maybe you don't make up the bed, but that doesn't mean you're incapable of being smart. I think the worst part about parents is that you can make one mistake and then you're not going to be anything in life. I think that's, that is so funny to me. It's not funny, but it's really funny. I think the best thing that I've read, but the worst thing that I've read is that your parents raised you the best way they knew how. And then it leads you to ask the question of, why are y'all making children? Like, you know what? Let's talk about that. I done added another topic. Why are y'all making children? Good question. I think it sounds very, it's not classist, but it sounds almost disrespectful to take the right of, having a child away from somebody. But when the rich people say broke people need to stop having kids, I get it. I get it. Why are you raising children in these circumstances and then taking middle class? Now this is getting just ridiculous, but I just think why are you the phrase my parents raised me the best way they knew how? No, I don't really think anybody should have to say that, but a majority of people that I know do. I don't want to get too much into kids actually, because that's a really sensitive topic. Sensitive topic for some parents. Just me personally, my parents didn't have me until really late, and I don't want to be too late. Early 30s, late 20s. I just I don't want to be 50 raising a 16-year-old. I just can't do it. I can't. I need you to get out of my house at 40. So I wanted to talk about kids and philanthropy and why people choose to have children. But also with that, everybody doesn't have the knowledge. I wish more high schools would teach sex education, because I never took that class, right? I learned from the people around me and my parents, but a lot of young girls and guys, they just don't know. They don't know. They just don't know. I wish the world could just be perfect. And I think that's my problem. I wish there were no homeless people. I wish that all children could read and write well, no matter your circumstance. I'm a wishful thinker. I try to be optimistic. It's crazy. I could be optimistic about that kind of stuff, but then I get down and think like I can't be optimistic about myself. Either way, I had a lot of fun going from topic to topic with y'all. I think we stayed on music for the most part. For the most part. But I will see y'all very soon with another topic. I think it's going to be this or that. I haven't too much decided yet, but I had so much fun with you guys today. And I hope y'all have a wonderful Wednesday, because that's the day that I'm posting it. And I'm really disappointed in you, John Morant. Just do better. And I don't even care about basketball. I just know what a three is. Bye.